Welcome to Absent Acres, modern day homesteading, living, laughing, and loving life with a family of 8.
First, I thought I should show you upstairs. Here's the deal with having a downstairs cold room or cellar pantry or whatever. Part of the issue is out of sight, out of mind. And so when you may have a bunch of stuff stocked, if you don't have either a list or maybe some readily available, you can forget what you have. So my husband built me this beautiful shelf. Ooh. Anyway, what I do is our commonly used items I'll bring up here. So like this is all my dry goods stuff, everything from, I've got the cornbread mix, my homemade cornbread mix, wheat berries, what is this? Sugar, powdered sugar, rice, all that kind of stuff. We have our empty milk jars here, lids are in here. This is convenience foods, turkey noodle soup base, chili base. Over here, I've got cranberry juice, we've got grape jelly, canned beef, canned venison, lots of canned venison, corn, carrots, and green beans. So all of that is stuff that we use regularly. I also had, at one point, 12 quarts of spaghetti sauce. But we've already went through it all and we're only in January. So yeah, I need to stock up on spaghetti sauce. But other than that, the only other thing that I keep up here is on the bottom down here, this is flour and this 5-gallon pail is sugar. So, all right, I'm gonna give you kind of a wide overview real quick. And then I will go down each area and just kind of explain what everything is and how we store in this room. All right, so first of all, let me tell you, my husband made these. They are awesome. I love them and I love him for making them. He wanted to make our storage kind of like a grocery store. So we have aisles. I love the idea. We got a lot more in here than we would have. These were actually relatively cheap to buy and make. He had to buy these end pieces here, and then it was just plywood and a couple 1-bys. Real simple, but all right, so let's start with this here up top. This stuff, and I'm sorry if you can hear my kids upstairs screaming because that's just fun. So they're playing a game of Monopoly. I apologize. Apparently we're a very competitive family, especially when you're 2. Anyway, all right, so up here, this is where my kids put empty jars that I'm done with upstairs. They bring them down and just put them here because I don't want them messing with my already separated jars. I have quart jars and pint jars and jelly jars and all that kind of stuff. Everything is separated. I would rather them just pile stuff up and I come down and do it. So that's what that's for. This stuff here, this is all animal related. So we have Ultra Boss up here. I've got some Valbazin, some Nutri-Drench. I've got, what is this? Dexamethasone, vitamin B complex. What is this one? I don't even remember what this one is. Liquamycin, whatever, LA200. We've got California mastitis testing stuff, In here is tattooing stuff for goats and antibiotic and a bunch of other stuff. So this is kind of where the animal stuff stays, and we don't keep it in the barn because it'll freeze and we don't want it to freeze. So that's why it's down here. Again, this is just all of my jars, my empty jars. I've got lids here. I need to buy some more lids. If you have a good lid, please let me know. Some people say that the one really big company has kind of chinsed out on their lids, and I'm noticing that I have a lot of bad seals lately. I know there's that 4 jars, and then there's another one. I want to say they were like a Christian company. I can't even remember what their name was, but I would like to try some new lids. And so if anybody has any recommendations, I'm willing to listen and possibly try them out. Anyway, so yeah, that's what all this is about. Let's move down. So do you guys remember the, TP hoarding of the vid? So I never had to worry about that because I was a hoarder of toilet paper beforehand. Not really a hoarder. I just like to be prepared. In my family, we have 4 girls. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Charlotte, but she's not using toilet paper yet. So we have 5 girls in this house. Okay. We go through toilet paper, a lot of it. So all of this toilet paper here, most of it I get in bulk from like Costco or something. But I am not above buying the cheap stuff. Those ones are for emergencies, like the toilet paper hoarding. If I didn't have any toilet paper like the Costco stuff, this will wipe my butt just fine. So I've got that. I also have some rolls. These are rolls of Walmart. You go there and they have those big rolls of toilet paper or whatever in their bathrooms. What's the word I'm looking for? Not economical. That's not even a word. Economical. That's not what I'm trying to say, but economy size. Oh. Anyway, that's what this is right here. So I've got a few rolls of that. I also have a huge box over here. Brett got it for free when he left his last company. They were throwing it away. They were switching to something else. And Brett's like, no, I'll take that home. It'll wipe butts. So that's what we got there. So lower down, you know what? Let me bring your eyesight down here so we can do the paper. Right. Now down. Oh, that's not all the toilet paper. I still got some here. And I've got some here, and then there's that box that I showed you there. I also have paper towels over here and napkins. But anyway, we'll get into that later. All right, so as for down here, extra toothbrushes and toothpaste, soaps, bar soaps, deodorants, shampoos, conditioners, and lotions. Then in the bottom, all along here, the outside doesn't have to look pretty, folks, but the inside is what counts. I've got things like oatmeal and rice and popcorn and rice and flour and sugar and I think another rice. Okay. I also have feminine hygiene products over there. And then along with all that's toilet paper, that is all diaper wipes. Okay. So I know a lot of people are, oh, you shouldn't put that on the ground, or you shouldn't keep it in plastic, use Mylar, whatever. You know what? In a perfect world, I would be able to do that. I would have that kind of money where I could put all my stuff in Mylar bags and vacuum seal it and whatever. But I don't. I live in the real world. This is what I do. I don't want to hear about it. Okay? So these are all the storage for my long-term, I think one of them is even wheat berries, I think. Yeah, that one right there, I think, is wheat berries, to be honest with you. But anyway, that's my longer-term storage. I fill those jars you saw upstairs with stuff from here. Oh, I forgot. I also have this rack over here. This is just my, see, these are my milk jars. These are ones that we don't like to use, but we will use if people don't bring jars back. Extra boxes for whatever. And my lids and rings, that kind of stuff. So anyway, all right, let's go down back to the food. All right. You know, I'm going to be honest. I probably should have done this video like a few months ago because I came down here and did a major clean out. And I do a major clean out once a year. And so everything that's here is what remains from the clean out. And when I say a clean out, what I do is I go through and I look at the dates of food. Now, keep in mind, just because it says best buy, that doesn't mean it has expired. It just means it's going to be the most nutritional, the best buy, such and such a date. However, when we are probably like 3 years out, I don't keep that kind of stuff. There wasn't a ton that was that far out that we hadn't used, but there were some things like noodles that I had found towards the back that my kids didn't do a first in, first out rotation with, or maybe we just didn't use that style of noodle as much as we had thought. So there were some things that did end up getting tossed. If I could donate it to a food shelf, I would, but I'm not going to donate expired or extremely out of date items to a food shelf. Okay. Okay, so top row here. All right. This is usually coffee related items are over in this vicinity. Baking related items are here. So everything from, you know, pure vanilla extract. This is actually from Mexico. So we've got seasonings, vanilla extract, baking powder, cornstarch, that kind of stuff are up top. Now, store-bought vegetables and store-bought soups. That's all in this huge vicinity. Everything from green beans and carrots to corn, kidney beans, tomatoes, and then let's see if I can do this real quick. Okay, so down here, this is all cream of stuff. So cream of celery, cream of chicken, cream of mushroom. I've got some tomato soup. And then I also have right there is some tuna. So that's what all this whole section is a lot of the the store-bought vegetables and stuff that didn't come, that I didn't can. We don't have as big of a garden as I wish, okay? So I cannot, the only thing that I have been able to successfully get for a full year's worth has been corn, because our old neighbor does corn and we usually buy like 20 dozen from them and then I can that up. But things like carrots and green beans and peas and whatever, my garden just isn't big enough to sustain us all for the whole year. So that's part of the reason we have this. The other part of the reason that we have this is for an emergency. And I'm not just talking end of world, zombie apocalypse, whatever. I'm talking your husband gets laid off and you have to live out of your pantry for a while. Oh, speaking of living out of your pantry, Jessica, Three Rivers Farm, is doing her pantry challenge right now. I think she's calling it Three Rivers Challenge. I'm not going to lie, Jess, I'm sorry, I forgot. And so I can't join you this year. But if you want to check that out and go with her on that, you can do that. But otherwise, like I said, if you have an emergency, somebody can't work, like I said, your husband gets laid off, you get laid off, somebody breaks a leg, you can't work for a while, you have extra guests that come over to spend a few days that turns into a month and you didn't expect that. You have something, okay? That's all this is, all right? If the world apocalypse should happen, well, I know where I'm going, but if you're watching this, you know what'll be left. All right, we have pizza sauce, tomato sauce, all kinds of things, more meat right here. This is actually water. It is sterile water.
So a lot of your pressure canners say to have a minimum of 4 pints or 2 quarts. Okay, to that is where they get their numbers for the pressure ratio and times and things like that. I don't always have 4 pints. So in a way to fill up my canner, I add an extra jar of water, and now I've got sterile water. Just a thought. I've got more cranberry juice, apple juice, tomatoes, all right here. This was where my store-bought spaghetti sauce was, and some of my homemade and my home canned spaghetti sauce. Yeah, that's all gone. So I really need to stock up on that. Up here, this whole top shelf was noodles. We had dwindled it down quite a bit anyway, but like I said, I had to get rid of some because of dates. You know, it is what it is. Then let's go on to this end. All right, so this end of the downstairs grocery store. On the bottom here, I've got potatoes, some potatoes. Oh, also, over here, in this tote down here, I have potatoes from our garden. If you watched back in the fall some of the videos or were following me on Instagram, those are still the potatoes from this year. We're still working on them. They're still good. Anyway, so condiments, high fructose corn syrup, all that kind of good, lovely stuff is up here. No, I don't always take everything out of the package and put it into jars or whatever. If I can, I do. But if not, it sits in one of these, the original package. That's just life, people. I do have some stuff, like here's some oatmeal that I was able to vacuum seal. Honey. This is all apple butter from our trees. I've got green beans down here and corn. This corn, not this past summer, but the summer before. That is what we still have left, plus whatever is upstairs. So I didn't buy any corn to can this year because we had so much. Now, coming up this fall, I will be doing a lot more corn canning. Here's a bunch of carrots. If you remember, I bought 50 pounds of carrots from Azure. I didn't really realize how big their bags were for the 25 pounds. It's a lot of carrots. I still have carrots. Okay, now we're down towards the end. This is beef bouillon stuff. I can't always make my own broth, so I do use this. I've got some pink Himalayan salt. This should probably actually be down there because it's a more baking thing, but I've got that. This is the snack stuff. So I do a Costco trip twice a year, okay? And I drop probably 2 mortgage payments at Costco, and they love me. But what I do is I buy a whole bunch of these kind of snacks. And then, like, let's just take this peanut butter mix. I will bring this upstairs when I notice our snack basket is getting low, and I will portion this into little snack baggies for the kids. Because if I were to just leave this in the cupboard upstairs, this whole thing would be gone by midnight. Not happening. So I portion it out, put it into the snack basket. I buy double of certain things, like there's 60? There's 64 bars in here, and I bought 2 boxes of it. I bought trail mixes, bunch of goldfish. My kids actually really like this, and I'm not an ambassador or anything, I'm just telling you. So this fruit thief thing is kind of like the fruity by the footy ropies, whatever. So they really like that. Anyway, so I've got that. I've got big bunches of oil just in case. And then bread. decided he wanted to make pickles this year. I still have a lot of pickles. I think I've seen him grab 2 jars. We can talk about that another time. Anyway, so this next section is a middle part. It is basically for Charlotte's food. So let me show you. All right, so this is one brand of her food, and this is one brand of her food. Now, Charlotte eats something called Real Food Blends. It goes into her tube. So each of these boxes contain 12 packets. For the day, it's 3 bags and 1 of this Kate Farms mixed in a jar with some water, shaken up. That whole half-gallon jar is what she eats throughout the whole day. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a good amount of food for her. Then up top here, this is the whatever shelf. So like I've got seed starting stuff, planters. That is actually a home dissection kit that we have to do coming up. Yes, there's a worm, a cricket or a grasshopper, and a frog in there. These are just your regular red Solo cups, but we put a hole in it for drainage because I use those to up pot. Got my grow lights, just a bunch of other stuff. I've got a grain mill. You know, it is what it is on this shelf. But like I said, it's for the most part, it's just Charlotte stuff. So that's pretty much it. That is my grand old storage room tour. I'm not the end all be all of how to store food long term properly. Okay. I don't have that kind of money to buy Mylar bags and all that kind of stuff. If I did, I would. I'm just a realistic mom of a lot of kids who like to eat. And so we have food and I have to have room for it. This is what I have. This is what keeps it. Again, I probably should have recorded this before I did the clean out because the shelves were a lot fuller looking. But that's okay. They'll get fuller when I can up more stuff. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thanks for watching.